Hello, and thank you for joining me today for this Rotate, Restore and Renew workout. So this is one that I have been requested to do. So it's going to be a combination of restorative movement, particularly rotation, and then we're going to do quite a lot of stretches, but we're also going to strengthen the muscles that tend to cause tension. So we're going to work on our back extensors, the shoulders, which a lot of people have neck pain. And then for those that suffer with tight lower back, we're going to do some glute work as well. So it's going to be a bit of a mixture. It's going to be gentle, flowing, nothing too dynamic. So let's get started, and we're going to start with a few roll downs. Okay, so let's have our feet hip bone distance apart. We're going to inhale, spread those fingers wide, and then exhale, really reach wide, nod the chin to the chest. And then we're going to roll down, trying to get as much movement as you can out of the spine. And then come to the bottom, bend your knees as much as you need to. And then inhale here and exhale. Use the abdominals to lift us back up to standing. Again, inhale. Exhale. Nod. Rolling down. Inhale here and exhale, lifting back up again. Let's do one more. Using these roll downs to transition to our time on the mat, already releasing some tension. And lifting up. Okay, we're going to now come to the end of the mat and we're going to roll down into a 4-point kneeling position. Okay, so inhale, exhale, rolling down, and then let's come to a 4-point kneeling. Okay, so as I always say, in 4-point kneeling, we want to be pushing through our hands. Our back is long, our knees are under our hips, and our wrists are under our shoulders. Okay, so we have no Pilates form, sink in the waist, collapse in the shoulders. Then we push through those hands, making sure we're nice and secure on the back. The abs are lifted to protect the lower back. Okay, and we're going to do 3 cat-cow stretches, and then we're just going to do some rocking on the hips. Okay, so we inhale to prepare, exhale, and I want you to try and lift up from the lumbar spine, so the lower back. Okay, so that's where we want to get that movement, the lower and the mid back, the thoracic. And then we come through neutral into a slight extension. So the head follows, inhale, exhale, really try and lift up that lower back. And release to neutral and slight extend. And last one. And come to a neutral. So now we're just going to tip the pelvis up slightly. I'm just going to rock back on the hips. Okay, just getting some movement through the shoulders, through the hips. Just gentle movement. Keeping the feet and shins grounded. Two more. And then we're going to step our right leg through our hands, and we're going to come up into a kneeling lunge. So you should feel in this position that you're having to call on these muscles in the hips and the core to stay balanced. Our hands are coming to shoulder height. We're going to dive forward, and then we're going to pull back and open the chest. Okay, so dive forward and flex. Pull back and extend. Should feel nice across that chest. One more. Dive. And expand. Good. So now we're going to take our arms to the side. We're going to rotate. We're going to lean forward to get a bit more of a stretch through those hip flexors. Come up to vertical and unwind. Other side. Rotate towards the bent knee. Reach forward. Pull back and untwist. One more either side. Rotate, reach, come up and untwist, and last one. Up and untwist. Good. Taking the knee back. Okay, and we're going to now, same leg, so that right leg, I'll turn around so it's easier. We're going to unweight the leg, unweight the opposite hand, so your left hand, and we're going to lift and lower the back leg, so really reach it long. 4, 8, 7, 6, keep gazing down to the mat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll hold it long and either hold here or pulse up. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then let's just widen the knees and just sit back into a rest pose and breathe. Breathing into the backs of the rib cage. One more. And then we come back onto that 4-point kneeling, and we're going to repeat that series. So starting with those cat-cow stretches. Inhale and then exhale, lifting up from that lumbar spine. And release. Good. So we're trying to get as much movement as we can out of each and every vertebrae, rather than moving the back in whole segments. The more healthy our back can be, Joseph Pilates said, the younger we feel. Okay, now stepping through with that left leg, lifting up, get your balance. And then we are going to dive forward and open out, squeezing the shoulder blades together at the back. Again, dive. Okay, you should feel a nice stretch through the hip flexors as you dive forward. And then opening out at the top. Last one. Arms are now coming wide, and we rotate, reach, come in and untwist. Woo, not wobbling over. Rotate, reach, up and untwist. Good. So hands come down. Go back into that 4-point kneeling, and we're going to take our left leg back now. So glide it along the mat. Okay, opposite, so right hand on weights. Try and keep your hips pointing down towards the mat as we lift and lower. 4, 8, 7. So working the whole of the posterior chain here on the back side of the body. 4, 3, 2, 1. So either hold or pulse up. Tiny pulses. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's rest again. Allow those hips to open. Circle the wrists if you need. And then we're just going to come down and lie on our tummy. So we're going to do some swan dive prep to work those upper back muscles, the back extensors. So our hands are just going to come just in front of the shoulder blades in quite a narrow position. Our legs are long, our heels are turned slightly in, our glutes and hamstrings pulling down, abs are lifting to protect the back. Your nose is just hovering off the mat. We're going to roll the nose along the mat as we come up into like a mini sphinx position. And then we're lowering back down with control. Okay, so I'm not looking for height here. I'm looking for you using the back extensor muscles on the backs of the shoulders to lift you up rather than the hands pushing. Okay, so if that only means you get to here, but you're using your back, that's great. Work with what you've got. Okay, and down. Let's build that strength. Lifting up and lower. Let's do 2 more. And down. And last one. And down. So if you're okay with that, we're just going to do 4 where we add in the arms as well. Okay, if you're okay with the prep, stick with that. So we're going to inhale, lift up, raise the arms, put the arms down, and then exhale, lower down. Just 3 more. And down. Okay, making sure that neck's in a lovely alignment. It's always in line with the rest of your spine. You don't drop it, you don't tip it back too far. And you're breathing. And down. Just rest your head to one side. And rock the pelvis. Then we're going to push up. Just do a quick shell stretch. So we're rounding over that imaginary ball. I'm going to come to the front of our mat and then come to seated for some half rollbacks. Okay, so working the core a little bit now and the abs, and also getting more flexion into that spine. So we're going to take our arms long. Okay, if arms long is too much for you, you can lightly hold on behind the thighs. Okay, so we're high on the sit bones. We're inhaling to prepare, and then exhale, tuck the pelvis under, really scoot those abs to get into your C shape, making sure you're not trying to make it with the shoulders. It's all in the abs. Rolling down, you don't want to come too far back and feel the hip flexors gripping. We're going to come up, then we're going to rotate to one side, rotate to the other side. Okay, so if you're holding on, you're going to roll back, come up, and then still do the rotation with the open arm. Good. So we inhale, exhale, roll. Really feel those abs pulling back. Up to vertical. Should really feel those abdominals working for you to create that C shape. Let's do 3 more. And up. For 2. And last one. Up. Open. Open. And then we're just going to all hold on behind the thighs, roll down. And we're going to come down to lying on our back. Okay, just take a second now here to make sure your shoulders are nice and relaxed, the pelvis is nice and relaxed, the feet are planted. We're going to lengthen the left leg. I'm going to bring that right knee into the chest and take the left arm overhead. Okay, so you should feel a lovely opening in those hip flexors. So if you sit a lot at your work, then the hip flexors get squashed. Okay, so we want to really open them out and stretch them out. We don't want them to get short and tight, because that means our muscles on the back of our pelvis will get long and weak, and that is quite often what pulls your back out of alignment and gives you lower back pain. Okay, so we need to keep all the muscles around the pelvis really healthy. Bring that in, and then just take your right arm out to the side and take the knee across the left, just as far as your body will allow. Okay, don't over twist. Just go with what feels natural. And breathe. Good, coming back to center, and then let's change legs. So left knee comes in, right arm goes overhead. You can circle the ankle. Again, it's important to keep our ankles healthy. Okay, and then crossing it over the body. Excellent. So now our feet are now coming to hip bone distance apart, and our feet are nice and planted on the ground. Our pelvis is in a neutral position, so we have a tiny gap between our low back and the mat. Our arms are long. We're just going to go into some hip rolls. Okay, so inhale to prepare, exhale, tip the pelvis up towards the rib cage, trying to get as much movement as you can out of each and every vertebra as you peel that pelvis off using the glutes and hamstrings. We're lifting up, we're not flaring our ribs out. The ribs are nice and connected and low. It's the pelvis that's high. We inhale here, And then as we exhale and come down, imagine you're squeezing an imaginary ball in between those thighs to keep them nice and active. And release completely at the bottom. Okay, we're going to do 4 of these, so go in your own time, but do not rush. Try and get more movement with every single hip roll that you do. Okay, hip rolls are just so good for you to keep that, particularly the lower back, nice and flexible. Inhale. So if you wish, you can take your arms up to the ceiling as you're peeling up, then take them overhead and come down. It encourages you to come down from higher with your arms there, and then take them back. So we're just going to do 1 more. Arms go overhead, and then we're rolling down with control. And your arms are coming down to the side. We're now going to do some basic shoulder bridge to work those glutes and hamstrings. Again, we need our glutes firing to support the back and the posterior chain. Okay, so our feet are nice and close in, and we're now just going to lift the pelvis up as we squeeze the glutes and hamstrings and lower down. So for 10, ribs down, 9, 8, keep those feet firmly planted on the mat, don't roll the feet. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pelvis is down. Now externally rotate, so that just means take the feet out wide. Okay, and then we're just going to do the same. It's going to work a slightly different part of your glute. So we're going to come up now, go halfway down and up, halfway down and up for 10, 9, really squeeze those glutes, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Excellent. Okay, so we'll go straight into a glute stretch, another stretch that you should try and fit in every day if you sit a lot. Okay, so it's a figure 4, so we're going to cross the ankle over the knee, let the hip open. If that's enough for you, stay there. If not, bring that other leg in and try and push the pelvis away just to feel a deeper stretch around the outside of the hip. And breathe. Feel that muscle relaxing. And then foot down, and let's change sides. So across, and then bring it in if you wish. Excellent job. So we're now going to come onto our side. Okay, so we're going to create a pillow with our bottom hand. Our legs are coming in, so our knees are towards the front of the mat, but our feet are lined up with our hips. Okay, when we're in this position, we don't want to be collapsing completely. We want that waist to be lifting. Okay, so we're nice and we're connecting all the time to our muscles. We're going to take our top leg up, and we're just going to do a raised clam. So we're going to go for 8, 7, open and close, 6, 5, you put your hand on your hip, you make sure you're not rocking back, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now we're going to flex the foot, really push it out. If you're pushing a wall away, bring it in, keep it hovering, open and close for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, so bend the knees in now. Shins are coming to the front of the mat for our book stretch. Oh. Okay, so hands around the ears, or the top arm is long. We're going to inhale and then exhale. Keep our hips pacing forward as we rotate through that thoracic, and breathe at the back. And then close it down. Okay, with a straight arm, we just let the arm sweep across and rest it on the floor at the back, As those who subscribe to the channel know, this is my favourite stretch. I just think it always makes you feel so good to get that rotation. Good. Now we're going to push up. Before we go to the other side, we're going to push back up to a 4-point kneeling position. Okay, we're just going to do one more exercise for those glutes and a little bit of an ab thing. So we're going to slide the right leg back, okay, making sure we're pushing through those hands. We're going to do like a wag the tail. So keeping your foot in contact with the mat, we take it out to the side and then we cross over at the back. So we're working the obliques. Good. And back for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and last one, 8. Bring that knee in. I want you to tuck the toes under. Okay, pushing through those hands. We're just going to hover the knees off. And then we're going to push up into a down stretch. Okay. And then hover. And down stretch. Should feel a nice stretch around those. Down the calves, all the back of the legs. And one more. Hover. And down stretch. Good. Right, let's do the other leg before we move onto the sideline for the other side. So glide the left leg back and we're going to take the leg out to the side and then across at the back. So you should feel it in the obliques. For 2. Try and keep the hips firmly planted so we don't want to be waving around. Trying to create some lateral flexion or flexion in the side. 4, 5, 6, 7, and one more, 8. Good. So now into that leg pull and down dog combination. So strong on the back. Lift those knees, use those abdominals, and lift up. If you wish to paddle out the feet, do that if it feels nice for you. Coming back into the hover. And up. And one more. Hover. And up. Great job. So come down to the knees and then let's do our sideline on the opposite side. Okay, so creating a pillow. Knees are coming towards the front of the mat. Our feet are back. We lift that knee and the foot up as we open and close for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now push that heel away, in, open the clam and close for 2. Make sure we're not collapsing in that waist. I was slightly there, just making sure I'm keeping nice and lifted. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and last one, 8. And now we get to do the book stretch on this side. So line the shins up with the front of the mat. Make sure those hips are stacked. Inhale and then exhale, rotate back. And close it down. And down, and one more. and down. And then just let's push up to a Z-sit position. Okay, so our hips need to be as grounded as they can be. We're going to open the arms out. I'm going to scoop around. No, we're not. We're going to go side bend over, and then we're going to rotate towards the hand. Open up out and come up again. Side bend over, rotate the torso towards the mat, open it out and up. One more. Up and out, and then just do a quick counter stretch. And then let's spin round to the other side. Okay, so we side bend over, making sure that opposite hip is pushing down to get the maximum amount of bend. Rotate towards the hand and the mat. Open the chest out and up. And up, and last one. And up, and then counter. Great job. So let's just come to have our cross-legged, or however's comfortable for you. Let's just close the eyes, put the hands on the knees, and just breathe in through the nose. And as you exhale, drop the ear towards the shoulder. Just get a nice little stretch, gentle stretch down the neck. And lifting up, inhale here, and exhale over to the other side. Good, so let's just do a few shoulder rolls, just making sure we've got no tension at all. And then bring them forward. And you are done. So thank you again for joining me. Please leave me a comment and let me know what you think of this workout. And if you have any requests, again, subscribe to the channel, send me a comment, let me know what you want to see on here. And I hope you feel restored and renewed. Have a great day. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.